And today we have a special guest. This is the homie right here, y'all. We're excited. I'm excited. I know the brother's excited too. I am really excited, like I said. But anyways, it's my boy. It's the one, the only from California, Dusty Vision TV.
What up, Nino America?
What up, bro? That's your channel, right? Dusty. I know it is. Dusty Vision TV, correct, on YouTube.
Dusty Vision TV on YouTube, man. Yeah, Dusty Vision Radio on Instagram. But yeah, Dusty Vision TV on Rumble. That's the one I'm really trying to push right now because YouTube is just really tripping right now with all the censorship and stuff like that. So I'm really trying to build that brand. So if you want to really support me out there, go to Dusty Vision TV on Rumble. What's good, man? Long time coming, dog. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's the homie right here, y'all. So is your name, do they call you Dusty? Is that your name or how'd you get the name for Dusty Vision? Go ahead.
No, that was just something I started a while back, and people just decided to call it. They just started calling me Dusty. You know what I mean? Just because of my TV channel, my YouTube channel name. But no, man, my name is Arnold. Arnold, dog. I have an old 1920s old white dude name, man. Arnold Sullivan. Just
That's a good old name. American name.
Yeah. Let's go, Arnold. Hey, bro, bring back manly names, right, bro? in this day and age.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Not Brendan or Kyle. No.
Hayden and all these weird names. Hey, all right, Arnold. So that you just got the name Dusty, bro, or how'd that come about? It just came out, or what?
Yeah, it just came out, man. Just I can't even tell you. I wish there was a cool story behind it. It just happened one day, man. I was like Dusty Vision, I'm looking at the world through a like it's not as beautiful as people try to perceive it. I don't even know. Look, dude. I probably smoked a joint or something, and it came out. Next thing I know, I started a YouTube channel called Dusty Vision. I woke up and I'm like, all right, so I just roll with it, man. My name is actually after my father's name, and my last name, like I said, is Sullivan, from the slave trade. Shout out to the master back in the day for giving me my name, man. So I kept it, dog. I'm a Sullivan. They cut off the O, though. It was supposed to be O Sullivan, but O means son of, but they're like, nah, dog, you ain't a son of us. You're just going to be a Sullivan. And that's how, the name Sullivan came to be.
Interesting, bro. And I'm glad you brought that up about the slave trade or slave days, because I put up a note to talk about my boy CW, Charleston White. But anyways, yeah, so I got a whole show lined up, y'all. This is my boy Dusty. Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Not to harp back on the name, but I like that, bro. Dusty Vision. I didn't think it was like that. Like you're looking at life through a lens, and it's dusty. Because let's be honest, you're in Cali.
You said it better than I did.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning, y'all. My boy Dusty Vision TV, and I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm excited too because you're the homie, and I don't know about you, but I don't have many content creator friends. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in my community.
About 5 maybe.
But I'm just saying, like, in my community, there's none like me. In my city, maybe there's 1 or 2, but of course they don't like me because of politics, religion, whatever. But I don't really know anybody that does content that I'm cordial with in my area. And I know me and you have gone back and forth. You interviewed me on your channel. Anybody watching, support the brother right here. But I'm just saying it's always fun to link up with other content creators. Shout out my boy Michael out there in Arizona. He does the Time Surf podcast, him and his wife. But you meet people that do YouTube content and you get acquainted with them, and we're the same kind of crazy. We're making content. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and posting. So how did you get started? And touch on that real quick before we get into your background.
Yeah, and we're kind of like nerds in that sense, man. So I do like talking about this. So we were just talking 5 minutes ago about wires and shit. I like learning and shit like that. But so how did I get started in content, man? I was a radio guy. I just loved listening to radio, talk radio late at night, man. Howard Stern came out to Los Angeles in the 90s, and in the late 90s is when I really got into him. And the station that I used to listen to in 2009 ended up blowing up, and then they just started playing pop. The guys on the radio were a little too expensive to pay. The Tom Likises and the Howard Sterns and the Frosty and Franks and things like that. So they ended up blowing that station up. And I remember Adam Carolla, the morning guy, he said, I'm going to try this thing called podcasting. And this was 2009, early 2009, February. And he said, I'm going to try this thing called podcasting. And anyone who wants to follow me, come and follow me. So I followed him. And then I started looking into this podcasting thing. And I just started it, dog. And I've had reincarnations. My biggest one before Dusty Vision TV was the Uncle Tom Show. And I was always called an Uncle Tom, a house because I believe a certain way, and it's not really what the masses are supposed to believe. But for the record, I'd much rather be a house. Like I would not want to be a field nigga. Look at this skin, dog. I would not last in that South Carolina sun back in 1860. You know what I mean? So I'd much rather be a house. I'm just saying. So I take that as a compliment. But I started the Uncle Tom show. That kind of blew up. Then we got into this environment where everyone was offended by everything. So I kind of backed off on that a little bit. But now I'm full-fledged. I'm ready to roll, man. I'm tired of people getting offended. It's time to put your big boy panties on and talk about the issues that are important. And that's why I'm here right now, man, is to talk about the issues that are important. I'm tired of, like I said, being censored and being afraid of what to say. And I'm hoping those days are in the past, but we shall see. But yeah, man, no cool story about how I started. I just started, man. And I just did everything myself. I'm a one-man band just like you are. And I learned everything myself. I watched hours of YouTube videos and I'm still learning to this day, man. But it's something that's fun. And it's like it's an adrenaline rush. And like you said earlier, we're crazy. We're talking to ourselves for an hour. We're looking at a screen and we're just talking to ourselves for an hour like some wacko. But I enjoy it, man. I really, really like it.
And to be honest, bro, you say it's not something interesting, but man, that's why I'm fanboyed out right now, bro. You're the homie, and this is what I like to do, right? So hold on, let me get back over my other lens over here. My idiot self didn't have it running correctly, but that's how we do when we never make content. Sometimes it ain't always perfect. Anyways, click the button, baby. Let's go. But that's why I'm kind of like, you're saying that it's not that crazy the way you started, but it's very interesting to someone like me. Because now I can see the parallels of what you said. It's kind of like me. I like Rush Limbaugh. I did like Howard Stern. Now he's a lefty, libtard, lunatic, bro.
Oh, what happened to Howard Stern, dude?
Question.
He turned into Don Imus, who used to make fun of all the time. Now he's this old guy who's afraid to go outside and catch. Like, where did that happen? He hasn't left. Howard Stern has turned into something that I'm just not happy with.
But I'm going to say something too man, I like what you say. You have a lot of stuff to dissect even in your intro there, but it's also therapeutic, bro. I've heard this. Making content is actually therapeutic. For people like us that are content creators, we're wired a certain way where this right here helps us out. Even my wife, she don't mind. I come to the back, she's cleaning, cooking, or whatever, and she knows I'm back here making content, and you're right. We are, and I said it too, we're crazy because we're staring at our phones all day. Or making content, and not just that, bro, analyzing it, editing it, publishing it. We wear three hats, y'all. If you make content, this is kind of my content creator spotlight. I want to touch on this, on my channel sometimes to help other content creators, but you got to wear three hats. Don't forget the third one. It's the most important probably, but there's three. First one is being the creator. You got to be the artist. The second one is you become the editor. You got to learn how to edit your stuff. But the third hat you got to wear that's very important is you got to be the publisher. You got to learn to take your content. Yeah, marketer. You got to learn to take that content that you created and edited and put it out there. You know what I'm saying, y'all? So don't forget, we wear many hats. And you're right, bro. We're kind of crazy because we're sitting here talking to ourselves, recording, making, whatever. And I know that you work, but I have a family. I run a business. I have multiple little business ventures. And then I do content creation. So it's a challenge, bro, to really not lose your mind, not lose your marriage, focus on your kids, your wife, and your business, and then to make content, and then to drop it every day. We talked about it earlier. I'm dropping a video every day, and that's why I salute you, bro. Your channel's so badass because I see you putting content out like 3 videos a day, bro. So how is the content creation for you, bro? Let's get into that real quick before we go into your background. You started doing it. You think nothing special. I think it's something special, but how is your content creation formed, and what's the rhythm you get into, bro? Because I really commend you on your channel. I love your channel, bro. Your channel, I'm gonna be honest real quick, y'all. He's in Cali. He's a Trump supporter. He does a lot of old school 90s, gang documentary / culture. I would say like that. He's with the commentary of today's day and age. Very interesting channel. I like your channel, bro, because I can sit there for hours and just play all your videos in a row while I'm driving my truck, and you touch on a lot of good topics I think are very important. But how's the channel creation and how's your channel formed, and what is your channel about?
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. So when I did first start YouTube, there was one person that I looked at the most, and even to this day I look at this guy the most, and there's no irony that he is one of the most popular, the most talented, the most successful content creators. But one of the people that I still look at to this day and who I looked at the beginning was Vlad TV. Now I say Vlad TV because I do chop up my videos like he does, and then I'll release the full interview. So that was the first thing I noticed. And what I realized is, okay, why does he do this? Why does he do this? And there's always a why. And then I heard him say why he does it, and it made perfect sense. And I went more down that rabbit hole. What a lot of people don't understand is you could put out an hour video, but the average person is going to listen to it for about 8 to 9 minutes. If that, if you're lucky, they'll listen to your hour and a half video for 8 to 9 minutes. Why? Because there's so much content out there, man. We got TikTok, we got Instagram, we got YouTube, we got all of this stuff. And, to get someone to listen to 8 or 9 minutes of your content, that's special in itself. So what I figured is, okay, I'll do shorter videos, and and that'll get my percentage of them listening up more. So now I'll release an 8-minute video and they'll watch 4 minutes of it. Now I just upped it to 50%. You know what I mean? I went from them watching 6% of my video to them watching 50% of my video. So that's how I did it, man. I really followed Vlad TV. DJ Academics was another one I was looking at who was really successful, just releasing a bunch of content every day. And Vlad TV even told himself, and he's been doing this as far as I can know. He said every day, when I first started this, my goal was to release a video every single day. And then that went to 2 videos, 3 videos. Now Vlad releases like 5 or 6 or 7 videos. I wish I can do that, but it's just me over here. I'm a one-man band. But yeah, that was the guy that I patterned myself around, I guess. And as far as content on my channel, I've always been a big hip-hop nerd. I've always loved hip-hop, especially West Coast hip-hop. And I thought that would be a good route to go. I have a lot of friends I used to promote back in the day. I used to promote clubs. So I had a Rolodex of people that I could start with. So I started with a couple of people, and then they referred me to this person, that person. And now I rarely make a call to make an interview. It's usually people reaching out to me, which is where I want it to be. And my next 2 months are booked up, just based on, just relationships, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's really relationships, man. I built those relationships. I don't screw people out. You know what I mean? I don't, I'm not a Adam 22 type of guy where I'm gonna, post something. If you say something in my interview, and that's another reason why I like to record beforehand. If you say something in my interview that I feel like might be a little incriminating, I'm gonna exit it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here. If this was all about money and views, I'd have quit a long time ago, brother. You know what I mean? I get a decent amount of income every month from just doing this, and it's fun, and I'm cool with that. Obviously, I would love to make more, but if it were about the views and the money, I'd have quit a long time ago. And that's what you were giving advice to people earlier. That's what I would give advice to. If you're coming in this, you think you're coming in this for the quick money and you're going to boom, go viral and hit all these millions and make all this money and bank. Nah, you're going to fizzle out. And I started in 2018, 2019, and I've seen so many people fizzle out because they come in with that mentality. Man, I'm going to come in and get millions and millions of views, and I'm going to turn the mic on to be the biggest thing ever. And then they realize, oh, it ain't that easy. Oh, I got to edit my own shit. Hold on, wait, I got to market my own shit. I got to clip all this up. I got to spend 2 hours before I even post the motherfucker doing this and that. And that's why everybody falls out, man. But I'm in it for the long run.
Good advice, bro. Hey, this is awesome. And let's be honest too. You do all that, you get 80 views. You get 60 views. I had a video that did 30. Hey, but let's be honest though. YouTube's different than Facebook and Instagram. I'll do a post on Instagram, Facebook. I got one right now that's for weeks already, thousands of likes. And, I get videos, millions of views on even TikTok, bro. But YouTube, you drop a video and it might hit 90 views in a day or two. But then in a week, that bad boy might hit a couple thousand, or you might.
And that's exactly what happens.
That's exactly it's evergreen content, bro. Like that's it right there. Just because it has 90 views today, I've had videos that, damn, this shit's starting off slow. Man, I only got 38 views. Are you fucking kidding me? And then 2 weeks later, I'll look at it, it has 2,000 views. I'm like, oh, something happened. It got in the algorithm somewhere.